fans, let me tell you the story of a game that hands down every shooter fan should know about. A game that appeared pretty normal at first in its reveal trailer, then absolutely genius in its gameplay overview trailer, because of the simple fact of how unique and just how good it looks. It's not your typical game available in the mainstream market, because no other AAA studios would even dare go into such a direction, where passion, effort, and trying to stand out is seen as normal. This is the story of an upcoming action shooter survival horror game where the brutal machines of war are seen as religious and deity figures, where war is absolute hell and you, the character, will be a random, weak, scared, unnecessary survivor between two factions raging against each other with giant mechs, giant creatures, and a whole lot of military vehicles. Welcome to the Forever Winter. Thanks to a huge and super interesting article on PCGamer.com, we just received a glimpse at what this ambitious game is all about, and it sounds out of this world, literally. Let's go. Forever Winter was largely inspired by the opening scene in Terminator 2 and the future horror scenes in the first Terminator, where everything is just war, sadness, and desolation. You are but a mere survivor in a war-ridden world where no one cares about you. This is a brutal world where war is an everyday thing and God has left, leaving religion groups to praise and love different kind of war machines. Everything is greedy and destroyed. It's not how this world was meant to be. This is also not a game full of heroics and jokes. You'll see dead people absolutely everywhere, and some are even hanging from mechs as a way of dominance, while yourself alone or the 4-player squads will face androids and even some human infantry that they'll be able to take down. One of those huge mechs is going to easily be able to wipe them out, and they're facing not one but two armies full of these seemingly insurmountable challenges. The two warring factions don't really care about your group of survivors at first though. They're busy with the war, with dynamic objectives playing out as you do your own thing. You won't be encountering random mobs of enemies that spawn in to give you something to fight. Instead, you'll encounter organized fire teams on missions. Maybe you'll bump into some APCs on patrol, or a clash of the titans with gargantuan mechs tearing chunks out of each other. Developers really made this game not about you, and it's the first time I hear something like this, because you're not really important in this world, you just have to survive in it. The devs have also said that sometimes crazy shit happens where it has unintended consequences. Every enemy technically has hit points, but they could also have reactive armor, stealth systems, and all sorts of countermeasures. So a ragtag group of survivors ain't going to stand a chance when the factions wheel out the big boys. If you run into a squad you know you won't be able to deal with, but you know the enemy faction is nearby, you might be able to draw them into a confrontation, letting you escape in the chaos. The more noise you make and the more successful you are, the more the machine factions will consider you a threat. Fundog, the developers, wants players to actually consider whether they should even fire their guns, because that's a big choice. By doing so, you're announcing to the enemy that there's something causing a ruckus. That's when they start to take notice. You'll want to pick routes with lots of cover, rather than pushing into that open stretch of no man's land with a bunch of crosses and dead robots in it. Next up, we have Towers of Agasba, which looks like quite the spectacle, with tons of things to do in a dangerous, fractured, and sad world that you'll need to put back on its feet, either alone or in co-op with friends or online players. This world is devastated, and many of the creatures roaming do not belong here. You have to bring it to its former glory. You will need to fight back and nurture the growth of living, breathing ecosystems composed of fantastical flora and fauna. Bring back the beautiful and intricate world of Agasba, where hundreds of weird and fantastical beasts roam free without a worry. It is said to be an absolutely massive open-world fantasy experience where players must balance between constructing bustling villages for their growing tribe and nurturing exotic ecosystems of otherworldly plant life and monsters. You can express your creativity by developing your island however you'd like, explore the whimsical land of Agasba, and connect with friends to show off your unique world. Each creature is meticulously crafted and unique as well. It is said that each thing you do or not do in this world will cause changes in the ecosystem itself. One tiny example is if you build a house in this part of the world and take all of the trees away, well, that kind of creature was eating from those trees, and so it will migrate to a new part of the world, causing a major change in the ecosystem and maybe causing its extinction or another creature's extinction. Maybe you decide to let the world die and go into chaos. Well, many flora and fauna will disappear and never come back. back. I'm really looking forward to it. Next up we have Kingmakers, where a modern man goes back to medieval times with guns and modern military vehicles to change the course of history. I think we've all imagined a game like this in our minds either recently or through our childhood. I often wondered why no studio would try and make something just like this as crazy and out there. Games are about having fun in the end, so why did it took so long to create it? I'm still dreaming of the day that someone creates a shooter where different eras can fight each other on the battlefield, but that's a discussion for another day. Kingmakers, as you become lord of a massive castle and army, thanks to yourself being seen as some kind of god with weapons and vehicles never seen before. You can bring in tanks, helicopters, rocket launchers, machine guns, and so much more in a 100% destructible environment. You'll be able to destroy anything in sight and enter every building. You can also create the medieval city that you want and make strategic plans for battle. Each fight plays out like a real-time simulation where thousands of soldiers face off at the same time. Every soldier on the battlefield is controlled by a next-generation, multi-threaded AI that decides the decisions, movements, and loyalty. Next up we have Squirrel With A Gun. There's no need for a description here, just watch this new trailer. Next up we have Replaced. Set in an alternate version of 1980s America, this action platformer takes us on a journey across Phoenix City, a dystopian wasteland where greed and corruption rules, and outlaws are rife in the aftermath of an apocalyptic event. In the prologue, you will be introduced to the protagonist, which is Reach, an artificial intelligence that becomes trapped in a human body during an explosion. Before you've had time to question what has happened, Reach and his fleshy prison are faced with the greatest ultimatum: run or die. You'll then be introduced to a corrupt world where only malice, sadness, and danger reigns. Next up we have The Alters, which I think will be one of the most surprising games of 2024. It seemed to have so many awesome gameplay elements and layers under it. Just take a look.
So, where's the captain? I told you, everyone died. Oh, this is insane. What a trip. It's not a trip. It's reality. Your new reality.
Are we brothers or something?
We have the same DNA, but we led separate lives.
What the hell?
Calm down. You're not the original Jan, but that doesn't mean you can't be important.
Like you look like me, but also not like me. What the fuck did you drug me with, man? No? You're not hallucinating. remember who you are.
My name is Jan Dolsky, but I'm seeing fucking double. You should worry about that. Stop pretending you have any idea how I feel.
Incompetence, incoherent decision-making, a groundbreaking mission on the verge of failure.
Damn, I just hope I don't f*** everything up again.
You want a relationship that lasts? Put some effort in it.
Each Jan is a different person. It will be extremely difficult to keep everyone happy.
You gotta learn how to say no sometimes.
But we must do whatever we can, because as the mission goes on, the challenges will only pile up. Obstacles on the outside, internal tensions that could prove to be even more dangerous. And with a ticking clock of the deathly sun behind our backs, the only way home is to press forward.
The dark web. You will stream. You will watch. You will follow. Sacrifice yourself. What is inside of you? Cry. Bleed. Stream. 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 Stream your death.
That's what I call a dramatic entrance. There's a reason why I'm called Killer Bean. It's because I'm good at what I do. Really. Really. Good. I used to be an assassin for the Shadow Agency. An international organization powerful enough to shape the world. Until they lied to me and tried to kill me. Now, I'm gonna destroy them.
You're the gosh darn idiot who wants to take down the Shadow Agency! Well, it is sure nice to meet you. Before you die...
They made me who I am, and I will make them pay for it.